Hi, this is Tony Nicole, co-host of Brave Talk Show, also CEO and founder of T&E Networks and T Nicole Enterprises. I am so happy and glad to present an opportunity to you guys for advertisement. So if you have a business or a brand and you would like to have it featured as a commercial slot on one of our shows, we would love to work with you. All you have to do is contact us via email at t.n.e.networksllc@gmail.com, or you can visit our website at www.tnenetworks.com. We would love to showcase your brand, your business. We love partnering up with all types of businesses. We want to make sure that you shine just like we do. So make sure that you contact us, and we'll be more than happy to work with you. Thank you, and God bless.
Hey, this is James A.T. Thompson. You are watching the Elite Life Show here on TNE Network. Glad to have everybody in the building again. Very special show on deck. Very special guest we have in the building today. Thank y'all for all the support and tuning in and watching the shows. If you want more information on TNE Network, go to t.n.e.networks LLC at gmail.com. Also check out the website tnenetworks.com and all of our pages, our social media pages, TN Network, TNE Network page on Facebook as well. Again, it's just an honor and a privilege to be able to bring these shows and be live in your living room. Click of the button, you on to the next episode. So definitely appreciate the support um, as we wind down 2020 and what has been for some, a wild, crazy year. But you look at it from a different angle, and the blessings are in the silver linings in the cloud. You have to be, mindful, what I'm saying, of what's going on, in the world. Staying woke, at the same time is a big thing. So, um, just all praises to God for continuing to, um, see purpose. Sometimes you see the purpose, you see what's going on in this life, and sometimes you're still trying to discover it, and that's okay too, because we are in days and times where there's plenty of time to discover and see what's really going on. That's what brings me to my guest that will be joining me in a few minutes. He's an activist, very passionate, what I'm saying, about the culture and the things that's going on. We'll get some real gems and real wisdom, what I'm saying, in this interview. He's also a poet as well. Um, we'll get some insight on some of the projects that he has coming up, and those things that, everything that he does, has purpose and meaning. So those things really resonate when you think about, um, bringing on people that are having an impact and also inspiring it too, you know, being an inspiration. So take a moment, short second, and we'll welcome on our very, very special guest to the program right after these messages. All right, y'all, out of the break, back on the Elite Life Show, and I got my very special guest in the building. He's a community activist, poet, and definitely a man that I consider family and a brother. Um, no other than my man Lester Smith is in the building with me. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you. Appreciate it. Happy
Yeah,
holidays, everybody. Stay safe.
doubt, man. No doubt. Might want to pan your camera down so I can see your whole face. There we go. Want
Yeah,
to
it's
see
kind
you.
of hard when you 6'6".
I know, right? Yeah, I see the
I
length, man.
think.
I say I'm trying to catch up with you, man, in the beard game, man.
Oh, hey man, I'm almost a year ahead of you, play. I started in March.
I know. Hey, I'm coming though. Um,
Yeah.
man, tell our audience a little bit about yourself, man. Just a little something. You know what I'm saying? The sprinkle into the atmosphere.
Um. So I was born and raised in Dayton, Ohio, the home of funk music. I always call it. Groups like Slave, Heatwave, Zap, Ohio players. All seen them growing up. So very, very much influenced by music. Um, been in education for almost 25 years. Um, special education as well. I've coached college basketball for like 15 years, and that's still going on. Um, still in education. And then the part of me, I've been a poet. I've been uh, tried to always educate myself about Black awareness and what it is about being Black in America and the history of Black people. Period. I'm a hip hop head, um, as you know. Yeah, strong love for hip hop and the history of hip hop, not just the music, but I love the history of how hip hop evolved. So right now, I'm still coaching. I'm coaching at a JUCO. I'm assistant coach. Once I move back home, and I'm still in education, teaching special needs kids.
So let's get into it, man. Talk a little bit about the influence that your parents had on you, coming up, and how it has really laid the foundation for how you've lived your life.
Um, and my parents had balance. You know, um, I hear a lot of people say, parents have to be or couples have to be equally yoked. As far as religion backgrounds and things of that. But I didn't see that. Like my father had his own philosophy. My mother had hers. Not saying they never agreed. Not always saying they always disagreed. But the one thing that I think they had was balance. And the biggest thing that really made it work is that they respected each other. You know, if my mother had a certain thing, it wasn't like my father just denounced what she was saying. It was more so they would sit down and talk about it, and they either agreed or agreed to disagree, but they respected each other's beliefs. So it wasn't. It was always peace in my house. My father, he was a pillar in the neighborhood. I could probably post something on Facebook right now, and he'll get probably 200 likes or whatever because of just the circle that I hung. He influenced all of them. And my mother just gave me that other balance. She was quiet, but she just had a way about her, man, that was loving. You know. So,
What's missing in the culture where it pertains to the African American family, in your opinion, from how you came up and what you're seeing today? What's the missing
man, that's. I mean, you could start a lot of places with that, but I think probably one of the I think one of the things that we don't think about is one is respect. But I think the other thing too is, man, and we say it all the time, is it's not so much as fathers, but we need Black men. You know, when you look at the history, and we need strong women as well. Because the next point I'm gonna go into, like, if you look at most of the movements that have happened within Black people, especially through the '60s, which is probably one of the strongest movements. When you look at the Black Panthers and those things like that, the women were the strength of those movements. They were the backbone because those were the ones that were supporting the men, telling baby it's gonna be all right and we're gonna make it through this. And when your girl or your woman or your wife is telling you these things, that is the spiritual connection that is needed to uplift each other. And there's no doubt that man needs that woman for that push. And so when when things started to change in the '60s and the woman kind of felt like she didn't need the Black man, instead of maybe respecting him or loving him, she kind of degraded him. you know, but then the black man didn't understand who he was and he didn't continue with his responsibility. So I think family is very important. You know, you don't even really see people like probably when me and you grew up, and we was going over grandma's house and there was a ton of people over there. You knew your first, second, and third cousin, you know, like you just knew them. Like you may not didn't see them for Christmas, Thanksgiving, like that. And maybe one time in the summer, you know, you saw them, you know. So
It's important, man. When you talk about family, we were able to connect, a few years ago, and it just hit right off the connection. And when you think about how people are, take that for granted, just being able to link up one brother to the next or one sister to the next, like we don't know how powerful that is if we just all come together and just unify, become like-minded and try to attain the same goal, just how powerful that movement would be. But a lot of times it seems like we're so headstrong on trying to prove that we're better than the next person instead of trying to unite and coming together and really walking arm in arm. We've lost that somewhere, you know. And it's a perfect segue to I've seen some things, man, in the last 10 years that I never thought that I would see. And that, it's like bringing back some things that, happened with our parents and they've seen in their lives. And I wanted to ask you, seeing racism come back to the forefront, it's not like it ever went away, but seeing it come back to the forefront and then some of the injustices that exist in this country, talk about the thought process of how that is awakened you even more so in your thought process as we move and trying to figure out how we can overcome these injustices that continue to be in this country, and also dealing with systematic racism that seems like it will never go away.
it's funny that you asked me that question because it was just about maybe 20 minutes before you reached out to me. I was thinking like there's cops are still shooting us, killing us. I'm still reading that this is still, that it hasn't died down. Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, I didn't live in the 60s, but I read about it. I've seen it. I know what it's about. And yes, it's like we're doing it all over again. I think some of some of the hurtful thing is that there's some people here that don't even see it. I think that's what's hurtful. When you see a young man get shot for no reason and you don't think that's injustice. Um, it's funny because like my father was so in tune to a lot of things, especially like prophecy and things of that nature. And I miss him so much because through these times we're going through, I know he would give something good, to go on. But you asked me like what have I been doing? I've been just trying to read more, books that he told me to read when I was a kid, but I wasn't maturely ready for that, you know. And some things he still tell me blows my mind. So I just think you got to read more. You got to pay more attention to what's really going on. You got to protect your mind. You can't sit and watch the news all day because you're gonna have so many emotions going between the pandemic and so injustice and things of that nature. You gotta get prepared. You gotta keep your body, your mind right. You gotta. I've been working out. Those type of things because all that is needed and all that is good. I don't know how we're ever going to solve uh, injustice or racism. You know, sometimes when it happens and you're so angry, it's almost to the point like you want to be like, man, I just want to give it back to them. You know what I'm saying? But we can't do that because we don't have the guns, we don't have the weapons, and you know, killing, that's like the last alternative, and that shouldn't be the way, and it shouldn't be that easy. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard for me just to recognize you as a human being, not by color, not by male or female, not by any of that, just how you treat me as a human being. That's just that alone is God in you. If I mistreat you, I feel it in my heart. If I have love and care for you as a human being, that I know I did something wrong and I need to go rectify that situation. You know what I'm saying? But these people do it and they cool with it. Like that's scary. That's scary. So I don't really know. I pray that one day it ends. I pray that I live to see it. Um, I used to think that when I was a kid, but deep down inside, I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be here. I really do. I got an uncle who just passed away. He was 92 years old, and one question I asked him, at that time he was 91. So understand this man been on the planet since 1927. I said, "Yo, man," I said, "Is there ever a time that in your lifetime that you thought racism would end?" And without hesitation, he said no. So here's a man that's been on the planet for 91 years and said it wasn't going to go away. And here I am in my time period through some of his time period, and I'm seeing the same thing he told me when I was a kid. So I don't know, but we definitely need to start trying to do something, man, and organize to battle this thing that's going on.
What seems to be the biggest obstacle to overcome? Is it within our youth? Is it within ourselves, the generation that we're in now? I mean, what's the biggest hold up to us being able to overcome what we're going through right now?
Well, I don't think it's the youth because we as parents are responsible for the youth. So we need to put them in check. I just think it's almost like everything else. It's like in our generation, James, if we was disrespectful to Miss Johnson, you know, Miss Johnson was probably might slap up upside the head, then go tell our mama, and then our mama gonna slap, and it wasn't no issue. Then later on, those kids became disrespectful to Miss Johnson, and they blatted out. They talked back and was very, they just kept with the disrespect. So Miss Johnson go back to the parent. Now the parent, she don't do nothing. Oh, okay, all right. Then later on, that the same situation happened. Now the parent is cussing out Miss Johnson. So when the kids see that oh, I'm cool, I can do anything I want to do. I think some of the morals and values that we had when we was younger is gone. The family thing, like we talked about before. And so we've gotten away from the village. A lot of us have grew up in the hood, but then we leave the hood. We don't put nothing back in it. And then we go to neighborhoods and schools that don't identify with us, and we pick up those characteristics that are not of us. A lot of these characteristics that we have in this country are not of our African heritage or how we believed and how we worship. You can't expect your child to run the house. Even in African proverbs, they don't even that's not even logical. They respect their elders. We are stop respecting. We have no respect for our elders, man. Not you and I per se, but a lot of these kids, like my father taught me to respect older people. That was the must. And he it's almost like in China, old people are looked to as value. We don't value old people. We just stick them in nursing homes, and then we cool with that. So just those little things we got to start doing. We don't. That's just my opinion, but I just know those are some of the values that my parents put in me, and that people that have grown up around me have gone through. And then I think we as men, we as men, we have got to do a better job of respecting and protecting the black woman. She has lost her confidence in us, not maybe individually, but as a group, like as a whole. She's lost confidence in us, and it's hard for them to build relationships with us when they've been disappointed so many times and hurt. And then they finally may meet a guy who can restore that. But shoot, by the time the man build that bridge, he tired. By the time he build the bridge that can help her get across this thing she's suffering, or um, some of the pain she's been through, he done built that bridge, man. He's sweating. He done laid it all out. And then now when she get ready to cross it, he's like, man, the hell with this. I'm going somewhere else. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's just so many things.
A lot of wisdom, man. So much we get into within this allotted time because I feel like it's a must to get in the atmosphere. The one thing I wanted to cover with you is to go over something that you released in the poetry side of yourself. Talk a little bit about that release, what it's about, and what it meant for you to put that in the atmosphere.
Yeah, so I got together with a couple of guys through the Dream On production group, and they asked me to collaborate with them on a song we did. Will Not Continue. It's on iTunes. I think it's on. I know it's on. Yeah, iTunes, and I think it's on Spotify. Um, so yeah, it's about social injustice. Um, and you can just look up Hakim the Poet, and it should come up on YouTube. But so it was about social injustice. So actually, I was doing a promo for Big Woo Radio, and so my man who I work with, Dremel Tucker, his brother, he came in, his name Taiwan. So Taiwan came in and basically was like, look, man, we got this track, and we want you to, do something on it. And I hadn't heard it, but when me and Dremel heard it, we looked at each other and we was like, whoa. So it's funny, man, because as soon as I finished the track for y'all, I came home that Saturday night. Sunday, it was Sunday morning, I wrote the whole piece of my part for that joint, man. So we're planning on doing a video, but the weather thing off and on. Then when the weather's good, we can't connect. But we're looking to try to do a video, man. So just a little something, man. Just be aware that social injustice is going on, man, and um, we need every inch and piece we can to try to stop it or slow it down or something.
So the piece that you put out, I believe on your YouTube channel, what was the significance to that piece? Are we talking about the same one that you put out a few months ago?
Oh, okay. So that one, that's the one you're talking about. Okay, the injustice of the justice. I don't, you don't mess me up, but I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the justice system of a yeah, I can't think of the name right now. But yeah, I put that together, man, because I was really messed up. The justice system of a terrorist. I had to slow down. There it is. Okay. So I did that piece because I saw Philando Castile when he got shot in that car, man. And out of all the ones I've seen, from Brown to Trayvon Martin to all of them, man, Greg Floyd. When I saw Castillo and he was sitting in that car, man, gasping for air, and his daughter was in the back, um, just the panic on that young lady's face to see that man die the way he did, man, and 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 it hurt. Like that one hurt me. Like it's probably one for everybody, but that was the one that hurt me. And as soon as I couldn't sleep. So then I wrote that piece, the justice system of a terrorist, um, and I wanted to do a video on it because I wanted that to be heard. I wanted to do something, you know. And so hopefully, man, I'm not done. I got a lot of stuff I want to get out there, man. Just time and production. You know how that goes.
And again, where can people go and view that at?
Oh, you can just go to YouTube, type in Hakim the Poet. That's HAKIMDA space again, then POET. So Hakim the Poet.
Very important to get that out there. Please go check that out. Very powerful piece and visuals as well. The message is in the piece, and when you see it, when you hear it, it resonates. If you know anything, if you're not touched by it, then it just, to me, it just means you're not locked in. You can't feel the pain and just the movement, within itself. It's not about,
Thank you.
and this is something that I want to touch on, man, with you. It's not about a flag. It's not about the military. It's about injustices in America. I think so many times it's mixed in to try to distract the overall view to make it about something else that it's not. And when I see all in our media and things of that nature that, some people just want to continue to keep the cover on the real problem. This is why I want to try to utilize my platform as much as possible to get the real message out there, to get the right stuff out there, so we can stop. People that's not going to get it, you just not going to get it anyway. But for the people that really want the real reason and for why things are happening the way that they are, this is the reason. This is the motivation to keep these platforms, to get these message out there in the atmosphere, because too many times we're distracted by, you shouldn't pay attention, they're disrespecting our soldiers, and I've read so much stuff, man, over even in the last 5 years, and I'm sitting here like, you don't get it. You don't get it because the moment that you're talking about something else other than the injustices that are happening in our country is the moment that you miss the whole beat of what's going on. Now,
I'm glad you. I'm
go ahead.
glad you brought that up, man. Quickly, it's amazing, especially and I've like some of the things that I posted and I've said. I've gotten pushback because people think I'm disrespecting the flag and I'm disrespecting soldiers. First off, like you said, man, justice is injustice, regardless of what it is. People people talk about how the Nazis did the Jews in this country, and the Jews get you can't say certain things, you can't do certain things, and all. But when it comes to black people, it's okay. I want to say, hey, look, if Johnny gets an apple, I want the apple too. I want Sally to get the apple. I don't care what color she is. I just want her to get the apple if Johnny get the apple. But we have to realize too, man, like you want me to stand and honor a flag that talks about liberty and justice for all. Okay, so if that's what this flag is about, then when can I stand for that? Because right now, I can't stand for that because I'm not getting that. That's like believing in a cause that don't. That's like black people believing in the Ku Klux Klan clause. Yeah, like we're down for the Klan, but they're hanging us every day, but we're still gonna pledge to the Klan. Nah, man, because if you want justice, then that flag has got to represent justice. You know, Soldiers in World War II dying, and they had to sit back with the animals, but the prisoners of war, the Germans, they set up in the car. That's not justice. How you think them brothers felt when they came home? So yeah, it ain't about the flag. It ain't about the military, man. Shoot.
Yeah, it's sad, man, because I grew up in a time where there was protected serve. And don't get me wrong, all cops are not bad.
No, they're not.
Don't get me wrong, it's only a certain select few. The problem I have is when you have people that are in leadership position that are advocating and making it seem like it's okay. Like you don't
Hmm.
even address injustices. And then I get it. We have freedom of speech. That's supposed to be a big thing. But what's troubling to me is there's 70 million people in this country that think it's okay. Like that still resonates with me, regardless of how everything is turned out. There's still 70 million people that believe it's okay. Like we can just brush it up under the carpet. And so I get it why my grandmother, why my grandfather, why my great, ancestors, I understand now why it was so hard because you dealt in a time where people overlooked your feelings. They didn't care anything about your feelings. They didn't care anything about you as a race. And here we are in 2020 and it's the same feeling. Like they don't care. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much you speak, we want to sweep it under the carpet. We want to say it's okay to run over people that's protesting. We want to say, oh, they're bad and they're a terrorist group. And like, bro, have you been looking? Are you really paying attention? Just in the news yesterday, I seen a protest that happened in Washington. That was for those 70 million people, and there were multiple stabbings. But yet it's swept on the back page like if it had been the other side of that thing, it would have been breaking news. It would have been all over every news outlet. But because it was the other side, and I can't help. I mean, I gotta say what I'm thinking because it was the other side of that thing. Oh, some people got stabbed, and they're gonna be okay. And I'm like, what's the difference? If it's me doing the stabbing, now I'm sitting in somebody's jail, and now I'm being profiled, and now I'm in somebody's courtroom. But nobody was identified in that. Nobody was put on Front Street on that. And it's okay. Oh, a few people got stabbed, but it was the bigger reason is why they were out there, which I'm gonna say it for what it is dumb for me. If I've lost something and it's realistic that I lost, then I have to man up. I can't.
Right.
I would be a fool to sit here and get in front of people and say, "Oh, we're still going to win," or "We got this and we got that." When the bottom line is saying something totally different. I
Right.
mean, I don't get it, man. Maybe Maybe there's something that makes sense in there for you, but it makes no sense for me.
It it doesn't. Um, what can I mean? I don't. You know, well, you know what it is. It's black and white. I mean, just put it where the ghost can get it. You know, it's about black and white, and it's still a part of racism. And so until we figure that out, it's always going to be, like they go downtown, they can riot and protest. They go to guns. They have guns going to the courthouse. Do you think if a new Black Panther, well, no, if the new Black Panther Party grabbed guns and went to Governor DeWine's house up here in Columbus, do you think they gonna let them just sit up there and do that? No, it's a black or white issue. And and I had a discussion with somebody because somebody was talking about Black Panthers, and they did. Hey, look, man, if the police were not shooting people randomly and mistreating them, the Black Panthers would have never formed. Everything is an action to a reaction. Black people don't go around doing that kind of stuff. That's not really in our nature. We really want to be left alone. Technically, you leave me alone, let me go live my life. I'm not gonna mess with you. But for every action, there's been a reaction. But here's the thing that no one even talks about who want to denounce the Black Panthers. They never ever killed someone. They never ever killed anyone. And so and if and they now they did shoot back when they were shot at, but they never started something and killed people. There's no record of that where they actually started an incident and killed someone. It was all about serve and protect. So I don't like you said. I don't know. Maybe that's all they understand. I have no clue. I have no clue.
I'll say this in our final segment. It's not. I don't have a problem with how anybody voted. My whole problem and issue is how we receive the message. If I can look at it both ways, why is it that it can't be perceived both ways on the other side of things? I mean, we have in this country, we have to get to a point where we can agree to disagree. And when you have things that are crystal clear in front of you, there's no way I can stand on this platform or any other platform that I'm on and say, oh, I just ignore, what I'm saying, what's real, ignore the narrative. That would make me, I would look foolish on so many different levels. My thing is, we've got to do better as a country. We've got to do better in our culture. And we have to take pride that if you stand and believe in something, you got to stand up for it. Because the moment that you keep your mouth shut, what I'm saying, you become the voiceless. You become unheard. And you're really giving into the narrative of what they want anyway. It's for you
Right,
not to talk, for you to fall in line and be quiet. You know what I'm saying? But you stand up against the narrative and you speak your mind because that's what they, you know what I'm saying? That's the big thing. You got freedom of speech, okay? So you hear me and I hear you. You know what I'm saying? And respectfully, I hear what you're saying. I'm not just hearing it, but I'm listening to. But why can't you listen and hear what I'm saying and embrace it for what it is? I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm just asking you to listen to my side of things. I think that's the problem in America is too one-sided. You want people to hear the one-sided view, but you don't want to hear the other side of things. You want to
right,
ignore people being killed in the street. You want to say, "Oh, it's just crime and it's all these bad people and this and that." That stuff exists in all cultures. But the moment that you stop listening, you know what I'm saying, just because you don't want to and just because you want to ignore, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in this country, that
right,
contributes to the problem. And as long as we continue to do that, not listening, and again, I'm calling out the 70 million people that think it's okay, you know what I'm saying, for racism to be alive and well, and for you to think that it's okay to mistreat people, you know what I'm saying, because of the color of their skin, and that it's okay for a few bad cops to go out here and take people's lives and shoot people just because either they're embarrassed or they've been overtaken for the moment or they're feeling intimidated for whatever the reasoning is. It does not give you a green light to take somebody's life, period. I don't care who you are. And the moment that you do that, I can't respect you. I can't respect you as a man. I can't respect you for what you're doing. And that's the point of it all. The moment that you stop listening and you don't have an open ear and an open heart for what's going on my side of things, then I can't respect you at all. Period.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And all we just want fairness. That's all we want.
Yeah.
We just want things to be fair, you know. And you like quickly, even like if you have two children, right? And you treat one better than the other one's going to act out. It's a natural reaction. That's
Yeah.
why people are reacting in the streets. That's a human characteristic. But you speak all these times that black people are not human, but we give you humanistic reality when we're hurting, you know, when we're in pain. But that doesn't still affect you because you still continue to do the things that you do. And so I totally agree. And it's hard to have respect for someone who doesn't respect you, who doesn't respect the color of your skin. Almost every, I guarantee you, 70% of black men in America got a police story. Some may be more horrible than others, but everybody's got one. You know, everybody. And if they don't, one, if they, and two, they had to grow up. I would probably say most so in the hood, but maybe some in some rural areas too. But we've all had experience of running with the cops. You know, so it's not just something that's made up by us. You know, it's been in rap music since the day rap began. You know, police harass. It was in. It's like a jungle. Sometime at the end of the song, the cop came and started pushing them and harassing them. You know, so that was 1980, whatever, 83, 84, something. You know, so it's always been there. My father told me stories about police harassment. So this is not something we're making up. This is all factual. You know, they know it. You know, they know it.
Definitely a show that we needed to have. This will not be the last time that you be on the Elite Life show with me. But anybody that witnessed this show today, you witnessed some wisdom and some truth and some realities. And we're not asking you to agree. We're only asking you to hear us, listen to what we're saying. That's all. You
That's
know,
it.
that's where it begins. It's not about you agreeing. We looking for you to agree. We just want you to hear us as we speaking as men, and we're speaking and putting in the atmosphere what we're thinking. Because unless you're walking in these shoes right here, you can't say you know what it feel like, and you can't say that you know what it's like because you ain't walked a mile in these shoes.
Yes, sir.
Lester Smith, man, I really appreciate you, my brother, coming on the show today. Definitely let us know how they can anybody can follow you on social media and how they can go view the content that you put out in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Big Less 41. You reach out to me there. That's really the only like social media I have where you can reach out to me because I try not to really get hooked on a lot of social media. But I am on Instagram. So Big Less 41. You can also, you know, if you look up James, JT Thompson through Facebook or Instagram, just you can link with me that way as well.
No doubt, man. Definitely appreciate you coming on the show. Anything we can do here on Elite Life to continue to push out in the atmosphere what needs to be heard, we all in, man. We a movement and we walking together. So appreciate you coming on the show and look forward to doing, having you back on the show in the future to talk and discuss, other areas of things that we've discussed. But we're gonna put it out here on the atmosphere. So I call my series with you, a continuation. It's to be continued. But thank you for the moments in time that you gave me this afternoon to get, this message out in the atmosphere.
I mean, I appreciate it. Everybody, please be safe. Um, take care of each other, man, as best we can, and just stay safe. And let's try to have a better 2021 in 2020. And shout out to Debo. Who?
Shout out.
Debo.
You got my 40, homie.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
classic. Hey, stay tuned. You watching the Elite Life Show here on TNE Network. Thank everybody for tuning in to the Elite Life Show. Again, we had community activist and poet Lester Smith on the program with us. We are going to do a series of segments together, so look forward to part two of our interview coming soon. And in the meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed this part one of our interview with Lester Smith. Again, you watch the episode, click subscribe. TNE Networks on the YouTube page. Any more information and details that you want, t.n.e.networks llc@gmail.com. Brave, new shows of the Brave Talk Show coming. Diva Lifestyle Show coming, upcoming, new episodes. Remember this, y'all. Be kind to others and treat others as you would like to be treated. Again, shout out to my sponsors, New Mount Olivet AME Zion Church. Also, shout out to Hope of Rock Hill, Tashika Thompson, and also a major shout out, you know what I'm saying, to my people, you know, that's been rocking with me, you know, for a long time. BL Fredericks, Memorial Center, Brandon Fredericks, appreciate y'all to the fullest, truly. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm James J.T. Thompson. See you on the other side.
Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge is king. Knowledge